I freaked out when my wife locked our son out of the house at night after he drank alcohol. My 16-year-old Jake came home at 2 in the morning absolutely wasted, like stumbling, slurring, reeking of beer wasted. My wife Chelsea heard him trying to sneak in through the back door and immediately went ballistic. She started screaming about how he was a disappointment and how dare he drink underage. I was half asleep, but woke up to all the yelling. Jake kept trying to explain that he was at his friend Tyler's house and they only had a few beers, but Chelsea wasn't having it. She grabbed him by the shirt and dragged him back outside. Then she literally locked the deadbolt and turned off the porch light. I heard her yell through the door that he could sleep outside and think about his choices. I rushed downstairs in my pajamas and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" It was November and probably 35 degrees outside. Jake was banging on the door begging to come in, saying he was sorry and it wouldn't happen again. But Chelsea just stood there with her arms crossed, saying he needed to learn consequences. I tried to reason with her. I told her he was drunk and cold and this was dangerous. What if he got hypothermia or tried to drive somewhere else? She just kept saying that tough love was the only way kids learn these days. She brought up her dad, who apparently kicked her brother out for a whole week when he got caught smoking weed in high school. Jake was sitting on our front steps, shivering in just his hoodie and jeans. I could see his breath in the air. He kept texting us both saying, "Sorry, Mom, please let me in." But Chelsea took his phone and turned it off when he tried calling his grandparents for help. She said he wasn't going to manipulate other family members into feeling bad for him. I was getting really anxious because our neighbors have those Ring doorbells, and I knew they could probably hear everything. Plus, I kept thinking about all the crazy stories you hear on the news about teenagers who freeze to death or get into accidents when they're drunk and desperate. But every time I tried to unlock the door, Chelsea would block me. She kept saying I was being too soft and that this was exactly why Jake thought he could get away with drinking. She said her parents never coddled her when she messed up and she turned out fine. But I was like, there's a difference between consequences and putting our kid in actual danger. It was almost 3 in the morning at this point. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. While Chelsea was in the bathroom, I unlocked the door and let Jake in. He was shaking so bad his teeth were chattering and his lips looked blue. I made him hot chocolate and we sat in the kitchen while he sobered up. He kept apologizing and promised he would never drink again. When Chelsea came back and saw him inside, she completely lost it. She started screaming at both of us about how I undermined her parenting and how Jake was never going to respect her authority now. She said I just taught him that if he waits long enough, Daddy will always cave and rescue him from his mistakes. The next morning, Jake was hungover, but he actually came to us and suggested his own punishment. He said he would give up his car keys for 2 weeks and do extra chores around the house. He also offered to go to those scared straight meetings about teen drinking that the school counselor runs. Jake hasn't come home drunk since then, and he actually talks to us more about what he's doing with friends.